But that's why, as Steve Jobs said, it's more fun to be a pirate than it is to be in the Navy. And I think it's a really good time to be a startup because most people in this room are not encumbered by a business model, which is a funny way of thinking about it. But if you look at the history of software, Salesforce beating Seable systems, ServiceNow beating the plethora of ITSM companies that came before, it's actually much... closing a technology gap in your product is hard, but not impossible. Changing your business model is really hard. And you look at Microsoft transitioning from Windows to Azure and how incredibly awkward that transition was. And Satya deserves a bunch of credit. Shantanu did a great job at Adobe going to ratable revenue. But there's like a graveyard of CEOs who've been fired because they couldn't make that transition, in part because public company investors are horribly impatient in these things. And so I just think that what's exciting about AI is I think it's going to give rise to new delivery models, new technology models, but as importantly, new business models. And I think that if you think about what are the opportunities for startups relative to incumbents, don't lose sight of the business models. I actually think it's usually one of the greatest advantages that startups have relative to incumbents.
Yeah, I think historically speed has been something